Good morning, everyone. Namaste. I'm going to call in Archangel Michael to clear, cleanse the space of all negative and lower vibrations, placing the white light of protection on us with his blue seal. And we're going to be reading out of our Touching Heaven. It's a cardiologist's encounters with death and living proof of the afterlife. And we're still on chapter 1, More Than Meets the Eye. And we are on part A Realm Beyond Our Senses. I was still raw with my wife Deborah, who I had married in 1978. I could tell my eyes were opening a larger understanding. She had became convinced through her study of the Bible and her experience with prayer, but I was a scientific first. I had shown evidence of heaven, lots of it, before I could buy in beyond the basic faith of my childhood. Ironically, it was science itself that persuaded me, or rather the limits of science. Science could only account for so much of what I was witnessing firsthand. So this was a cardiologist, a doctor, Chauncey Crandall, that was writing this book and talking about his experiences. He couldn't understand why these things were occurring. I noticed that the dying constantly spoke of it. There was a Jewish man in intensive care who just before he passed kept repeating, "The temple is almost ready. The temple is almost ready." So do those who had nearly died. One lady I know reported streets of gold so bright that she couldn't look at them, lined with flowers of vivid. She couldn't describe them. She could see stately homes in the distance. One of her family members told her, "One of these is for you." But as she began walking down the golden streets, she heard the Lord say, "It is time for you to go back." Now she has no fear of dying. When a person transforms from fear to peace at a moment like this, it's hard to reason it away. There are additional signs of other reality. When my own son was dying, there was a white mist in his room that disappeared once he had taken his final breath. Deb and I weren't the only ones who saw it. Since then, I and others have seen that same mist in the room of two other believers of deathbeds. I also observed that when people are dying, they are either register frightful reactions including shock, torment, despair, or they reveal peace, reactions such as calm and restfulness. There is also never a middle ground. It is one extreme or the other, regardless of their symptoms or their medication. Additionally, in taking to missionaries, the doctors serving in the third world countries, they would tell stories about after stories of dramatic experience with so many witnesses that the outcomes were impossible to dispute. The consistency of their independent stories, coupled with the patient's firsthand accounts and my own experience, confirmed to me as a scientist that there is a greater, more enduring realm after our natural one, a supernatural realm, where the forces of both darkness and light are at work. I will talk about more specific forces in future chapters, but when I initially came to understand was when supernatural super kingdom drops into our earthly one, the atmosphere in a room changes and the physical one, sometimes physical itself, is altered. If the kingdom of darkness is present, there is chaos, agony, confusion, disruption. The kingdom of light is present, there is peace and certainty, no matter how dire the circumstances. When Jesus was on earth, he spoke of the supernatural realm. He went to great lengths to inform us that the nature of kingdom of light in particular. When he spoke of it in parables, it was the terms such as these. The kingdom of heaven is like seeds planted in a man's field. Matt 13:24-31. Yeast what a woman mixed into 60 pounds of flour until it worked through the dough. Matt 13:33. A treasure is hidden in the field. Matt 13:44. A merchant for fine pearls. Matt 13:45. A net that was let down from the lake and caught all kinds of fish. Matt 13:47. A king who wanted to settle accounts with his servants. Matt 18:23. A landowner who went out early in the morning to hire work for his vineyard. Matt 21. A king who prepared a wedding banquet for his son. Matt 22:2. 10 virgins who took the lamp and went out to meet the bridegroom. Matt 25:1. When he communicated more directly about his characteristics, he said a place where he can store up eternal joy, treasures, the kinds of things that moss and rodents and cancer can't destroy, thieves, heart attacks cannot steal. Matt 6:19 through 20. Where the least on earth, the young, poor, and the meek, and the broken and neglected are exalted and cared for. Matt 11:11, 18:4, 10, and 14. Where the feasting and celebration of continuous. Matt 18:11. Where the rich are seldom found, not because any has against wealth, but because the wealthy in this world are often so devoted to their material treasures, they ignore the external ones. Matt 19:23 through 24. So I'm going to leave it at that, and hallelujah to that. I myself, again, had near-death experiences several times in my life, and all I can tell you is we are not alone in this world. You do not ever really truly die. You just go to a better place. So why we, feel sorry that people's lives got ended when they're going to a miraculous, glorious place is beyond me. We should be celebrating their life, mourning that we aren't going to see them for a little bit, but you eventually are going to see them. They are always there when you need comfort, and I know because I hold hands with the other side. So I love you all. Have a blessed day, and namaste.